Okay, so that's the first thing. Next, we'll just kind of go down the list. So this is your new insufflator, okay? This insufflator is a smart insufflator. It's called a pneumoclear. That means smoke evacuation insufflator. It has tubing that comes with, and I should have had a set here, but I don't, so we're gonna have to, it has 2 tube sets in it, in one. And one is clear, the clear one is CO2, and the purple one is smoke evacuation, right? So the reason why smoke evacuation is a big deal for Intermountain is because Intermountain has looked at studies that they've done at AORN and stuff, and it doesn't affect doctors as much that are only in like once a week, but especially staff that are in day after day in the OR. They've done studies and like it's comparable to smoking cigarettes. All the ablation and the smoke inhalation that the staff gets day after day, right? So by having the smoke evacuation, it's a healthier, safer environment for all of you guys, right? And if we're being honest, probably the bigger deal, the more practical deal, not to say your guys' health isn't important, right? But it also, when the doctors are ablating, if it's sucking out the smoke, it gives them a much better image on the monitor as well. So it's kind of twofold. It's good, it's better for everybody's health, but it's also a better image if it's clearing out the smoke, right? So when you get it, there's a little message on here right now that says device services due. It's ridiculous. These are brand new, so I'll take care of that. We're gonna figure that out. So don't, for now, just click the check mark. It'll bypass it, right, for now. But I'm gonna fix that. So.
Is there a filter that we have to change for the smoke evacuation?
It comes as part of the tube set.
We don't have any tube in here already?
No, that's my bad. I was going to bring some, totally forgot. I live 5 hours away. Sorry. We're going to order some. I know. I apologize. But, yeah.
So wait, does that mean we're doing scope cases for a minute? Or if we don't have tube?
We're going to overnight it.
Oh, okay.
It'll be here before you guys. I mean, unless there's an add-on today or something like. But yeah, if there's an add-on today, do it in a different room, right? But yeah, we'll have the insufflation tubing here very shortly. But that's a great question about the filter. So the filter is actually part of the tube set itself. So when you're plugging it in, it's pretty easy, right? Look at it. Sometimes people try and plug it in upside down. Stryker is written on it, the word Stryker. So as long as that's not upside down, you'll know you've got it correct. And then what I do is I put the bottom part in first, and I roll it in. And then it'll click. Click, and you'll know it's in, okay? From there, you've got a whole bunch of options on this main screen. This is the screen that's gonna pop up. There's a whole bunch of options. I think on your old equipment, you probably picked high flow, right, for the most part. On this one, what I want you to pick is advanced flow. I mean, unless you're doing like a TAMIS case or something, like probably you're not doing a whole lot up here, right? You want, or a vessel harvest or something like that, right? But advanced flow right here, that's the one I want you to pick. The reason for that is it allows your flow to go a little higher. Doctors like that more, it's more responsive. Anyway, so when you're here, once you choose advanced flow and you have a tube set connected, from there it's pretty much exactly like you've been using with your old system, right? You've got the pressure setting right here, the actual pressure, and then you've also got the flow. Turn the flow up, goes all the way to 50, right? That doesn't mean it's always flowing at 50, right? Once it gets to the pressure, it comes back down. But it has the capability to go to 50, which is important, especially if this smart insufflator, if it's sucking smoke and you have some sort of an air leak out of the abdomen or something, you're going to want it to be all the way at 50 for it to try and keep up. Does that make sense? But it is a smart insufflator. So let's say you know, there's a difference. You guys use like the Buffalo filters or whatever. You hook them up to a suction, right? Those are sucking no matter what. Even if you start to lose pressure, they continue to suck. This thing, it's smart. If it starts to realize, oh, I'm losing pressure in the abdomen, it'll turn the smoke evacuation off until it recovers and the pressure is normal, and then it'll start going again. So you don't have to be worried about that, is my point. There are 3 buttons here in the middle, right underneath where it says smoke evacuation. They're grayed out right now because we don't have a tube set plugged in. But if you plug the tube set in, there's a minus and a plus, right? And then there's a button in the middle. The button in the middle will be white. White means it's off, right? So if you're in the middle of a case and the doctor's saying, why isn't the smoke evacuation working? This smoke evacuation sucks, right? Or whatever. It might be because it's not turned on, right? If right now it's grayed out, but if you have a tube set in and it's showing white, that means it's turned off. It's not turned on, right? So what I would do is the moment I plug in the tube set, I press that button, right? And it'll go from white to orange. Orange means it's on standby mode, right? And then once the tube sets are, you know, the smoky back and the CO2 are both connected, then it'll automatically turn on. It'll go from orange to green. That's how you know it's activated, right? Then there's 4 little dots underneath that button here. It's going to automatically default to 1. That's usually for bottle gas, right? Because if you're sucking out for smoke evacuation and you've got like a limited supply of bottle gas, then you know you want to leave it on 1 or 2 so that you don't go through your bottle gas super quick. But you guys have house gas, so it's unlimited. It's not a big deal. Like, so the first thing I do, plug in plug in the tube set, pick advanced flow. When you get into here, turn the middle button on so it goes from white to orange, and then I turn it all the way, the smoke evacuation all the way up to 4. Because you got plenty of CO2, you're not constricted to just the gas, the bottle gas, and then it'll work great. When there's smoke in there, it'll get rid of it much quicker. Final thing I'll say about the insufflator. So those 2 tube sets, you don't want them on the same cannula. Does that make sense? Because that way the CO2 comes in and it just sucks it right back out. If you put them on different sides of the abdomen, far apart from each other, then you'll actually see when they start ablating or whatever, you'll see the smoke kind of getting sucked out, right? Because it's going from one side to the other. Hope that makes sense. Fair enough? Any questions with regard to the insufflator?
Would you just recommend running the flow at 50 all the time?
I just put it at 50 every time. Yep. It's like I don't know, like a faucet, right? The flow is how much is capable of coming out. The pressure is a little different, right? So you set the pressure at whatever the doc wants, but the flow being as high as possible just makes it super quick and responsive, if that makes sense.
What's the standard then? Like, so if surgeon's like, well, I don't know what I want, just put it on standard. What is your standard?
50. Put it at 50.
The pressure, I mean.
Oh, the pressure is usually at 15. Some
so
docs.
that's the same for.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 15.
Yep, 15-ish. Sometimes they like it, you know, a little lower when they're doing it when they're first starting out or whatever. But eventually, they typically like it at 15. Cool. You can go higher than that, but it's going to give you a little warning saying exceed safety threshold, right? Because typically more than 15 isn't normal. So if somebody's getting the pressure and the flow confused, and they're trying to go to 50 on the pressure, right, or something, like, it's going to warn you first. So, anyway, I'm trying to think if there's anything else about the insufflator. Just, obviously, this insufflator has its own tube sets, right? So when you're not in OR2 or OR3, different insufflator, different tube sets, whatever you guys are used to using, that's what you'll use there. But these ones require the new tube sets. Cool? Okay, awesome. So